Hi there, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to this book club section of Elevate Nursing. And today we're doing a book review. And I'll tell you a bit about the book club is that we make a selection of a book to read on a monthly basis. So the books are diverse, books that are written by healthcare providers, books that are written from a scientific point of view. And in future, we'll be looking at other genres of books. But generally, we make these selections on a monthly basis. So find a book, read it throughout the month and review it at the end of the month. And from there on, we make a selection for the next month. So in the month of January 2022, we made this selection, The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, why we do what we do and how to change. If you'd like to be part of the community members, if you'd like to suggest a book for the community, you can follow the link that I will leave in the description box. That will take you to our home base, which is ElevateNursing.org. So let's get into it. This book was a really good read. I enjoyed it absolutely. And what the book is about generally is the author, Charles Duhigg, looks at Duhigg. Actually, that's his name. It's Charles Duhigg. Oh, I have butchered it for a while. Anyways, so the thing is, he looks at the human behavior, tries to explain it from a scientific point of view, and brings in theories and concepts around that. Then, scientifically, explains how to change these behaviors. So, for example, a habit loop. Looking at a habit loop, why do you do what you do? Do you wake up in the morning and brush your teeth because it is something that has been ingrained in your mind from a young age? Or do you do it because, what's the motivation behind that? What's the reward at the end of it? Do you do it because you want to have a good feeling in your mouth? Do you do it because you want to have white teeth, like better oral health? From then, once you figure out the link between all that, then you have a positive motivation to continue with a particular habit. And that's the habit loop. So Charles Duhigg has generally looked at concepts from an individual point of view, behaviors of one person, behaviors of communities, behaviors of organizations in general, and behaviors of specific people in terms of sports persons, in terms of certain leaders and so on. That's why I really liked this book, because it gives you a really holistic view of certain behaviors in particular places. And if you're evolving as a professional, and this is where nursing really comes in, because there was a story in here about a hospital, which I thought, oh wow, this is really good, because I could transfer this directly into my daily living as a healthcare provider, as a nurse, and as somebody who is gaining more and more responsibilities as a nurse. What I really liked about the book is that it allows you to introspect on certain habits, and then eventually look at an organization and figure out, then how do I bring change into this organization? And positive change, how does that come about? Negative change, how does that come about? And how do we stop the negative change and put more fuel towards the positive change? So that's that from the perspective of change. When we look at certain habits that are carried on, he talks about Keystone habits and the ripple effect of that. What I learned from this, and what I picked on, is certain behaviors that we would like to keep doing. So there are certain rewards for it, yeah? But that's not the one way of making change sustainable or regenerative. Looking at certain things that I have applied in my own life from this book is the example of running. I really do enjoy running, and if I could do it, sometimes I'm at work and I'm thinking, man, at 5 o'clock I'll go for a run and I'll enjoy it. But there are days when I don't feel like doing it. Absolutely not. Looking at towards the end of last year, I was trying to do it more habitually, because running is not something that you would enjoy every day. I didn't like doing it. I don't like doing it every day. But there are days that it comes to me naturally. There are days that I have to push myself. So to create a habit loop around that is to say, I'll put aside my clothes, my running gear, so that I don't have the block or the wall that stops me from running if I'm taking too much time to find my running clothes in the evening. And delaying that time, like having difficulty or having a challenge finding my running clothes on time, is going to stop me from running earlier on. If I don't go out running earlier in the evening, it's not really safe to go out and run at 7 p.m. or at 8 p.m. if you enjoy running outside. So that's one of the things to motivate. That's one of the motivators, rather. Pick out your running clothes and put them out early. The second thing is find a convenient spot to put them. So if I put them next to the door, then it's encouraging because I can see it whenever I come into the house, or when I'm leaving, I can see them. So it rings in my mind, yeah, there is a run at the end of the day. Thirdly is to ensure that I have proper running gear. So in terms of shoes, I need to get quality running shoes, and that's going to prevent me getting injuries, because one of the things that worries me sometimes, or people sometimes, when you go out running is, I hope I don't get an injury. I don't want to get an injury. So to stop that thought is to reduce the chances of you getting an injury, get proper running gear, and so on. So make connections, find a good physiotherapist, and so on. And that really feeds into running. So what is the ripple effect of running? I can attest to, at the end of running, there is a good feeling. Yeah, it's a way of managing. It's a way of decompressing mentally and physically. If I can really run consistently and be strong physically, then I'll be a better resource to the team at work. You know, I can take care of my patients better because I am on my feet most of the day as a nurse. So in that way, I can move about more, I'm more flexible, and so on. And I avoid work-related injuries in terms of physical and psychological hazards that are related to our healthcare professions. So that's just that. So when you look at that habit loop, once you get on the road and run consistently, it has a ripple effect. And at the end of the day, you find that you're dealing with so many other factors just from working on one thing. So that's the concept of Keystone habits, the regenerative effects of specific habits, and the ripple effects of that. Those are briefly some of the things that I picked on from this book. I absolutely enjoyed it. I was hoping to read Atomic Habits. Based on the previous video, I had mentioned that I would have liked to read, I was looking forward to reading Atomic Habits, but I didn't get a chance to do that. I'll still read it in future. I had a conversation with a friend of mine who has read Atomic Habits, and he said that it's quite specific to particular habits. From that, basically from just what the conversation we had, I realized that this book is broader, but I'll give you my own perspectives once I read that book. And if you've read Atomic Habits, you can tell us what it's about in the comment section. I'd really like to know and feed them into my own thought process when it comes to selecting a book to read in future around habits. But I will read this book again and again. Something I like, what happens with me when I find good books that I enjoy reading, I finish it up and then I pick them up later on to read. And yeah, that's that. So for sure I'll be rereading this book in future because it was really entertaining. It was quite productive and extremely practical. What I didn't like about this book, I can't say much about what I didn't like about it because I enjoyed it. Probably at some point I had to slow down because I felt as though it was a bit too long. But apart from that, it's not too bad. This book is about 300 pages. So it's not like a physically long book. I think it's psychologically long because if you're reading a book and you're trying to apply the concepts as you go on, it gives you a sense of it's psychologically long because you're coming back to it, you're applying it, you're coming back to it, you're reading, you're getting to know more concepts as you read on, and you're thinking, you're holding on to what is at the back, you know, what was in the beginning of the book. So in that sense, it can be lengthy psychologically, but generally it was a really good book to read. I give it a 10 over 10 because to me, when you can explain something scientifically and show how this has been effective for other people, and you try it and you see that it's working for you, that for me is effectiveness, the SI unit of effectiveness. So that's that. All in all, it was a fantastic one. I enjoyed reading it. I don't think there is anything more to say about it. Oh, before we go, I almost forgot, man. As I review this book, it's just in my mind. It feels as though I'm reliving it, so it's exciting in that way. The next book that we'll be reading is this one, Your Life in My Hands. Let me see, is it clear? Yes, this book right here, Your Life in My Hands, A Junior Doctor's Story by Rachel Clark. I'll tell you for free that I have started reading this book already. I'm in page 9, according to the bookmark. I'm in page 9, and this is a really good book based on the first few pages. I haven't read any review about this book online. It has a punch. It starts off with a bow. So yeah, that's that. All in all, thank you for watching this through to this point. I wish you a lovely day. I'll see you soon, and until next time, Elevate Nursing. Take care. Bye bye.